Good morning everyone and welcome back to the Two-Headed Wolf gaming channel and Farthest Frontier as we continue setting up our mountain colony. Last time we've put down the basics for our people, everybody has a home now, we have a few foragers going around the village collecting mushrooms and berries and herbs, things that we would need for our survival. We've also finished setting up storehouses for every type of resource that we might be getting or gathering, and we started producing planks, which will be like our first step moving from survival into actually prospering and expanding and all that. Still early on the road, but that's what we're working towards. Last time I also put down a root cellar near one of these forager shacks and also our hunter and smoke house. This will store our food and prevent it from spoiling quicker. Like in this situation, where we've lost 70 mushrooms due to spoilage. I was thinking that maybe one root cellar would be enough, but when I've looked around the village, I realized that it takes a very long time for this forager to, on one hand, go around and collect the different types of foods and herbs from the forest, and then have to go all the way here in order to store it in the root cellar. And so I thought, why not put down another root cellar over here? It's going to help speed up the process of storing food, prevent it from spoiling, all of that. Plus, in case we get raided or in case of a fire, we are more protected knowing that we have two different food storage places. I'm also thinking of placing down a market, and I was thinking about flattening out this area. Since we're producing planks now, we could also place down a market, a building where household goods are stocked by a grocer and distributed to houses, saving time for working villagers. Market also generate tax revenue and increase the desirability of the surrounding area. On one hand, we could be placing it somewhere around here, but I am thinking that maybe I'll expand some agriculture in this area. On this side, I wouldn't want to chase away the deer at the moment because they're very close to us and we could get a lot of meat from them. Going in this direction doesn't really make sense since we decided to make sort of an industrial area here, and thus it will increase our desirability, and placing houses here will become problematic for the future. And so I'm thinking that maybe putting down a market over here and then have houses around this area might be the best idea going forward. But we need to flatten the land in order to do so. So I'm going to try to do something like this. I don't know how flattening looks. Generally speaking, in city builder games, flattening looks really ugly at the end. Raising the land in a very straight manner. But I don't know. I was thinking at some point that if they do that thing where they raise the land and like they have these unnatural shapes to it, that they could put a texture on it like stone. You know how you see in some Japanese villages, especially in mountainous area, like you have these houses which are raised off the ground and there's on the exterior you have like these stone walls sort of deal. I think that would look really good in games as well. But who knows? For now, we're gonna try to raise the land or flatten the land and see how that works. We have an exclamation mark here, showing us that we are actually getting close to consuming as much food as we are producing. And adding up the spoiled food and all that, yeah, we're reaching our limit, which also makes me think that we might want to put down some crop fields. Fertility is not great. And the land, environmental fertility, the thing you can see down at the bottom with soil mixture, clay and sand, there's no right or wrong answer here. Depending on what type of crops you want to place down, you might need more sandy terrain or you might need more clay terrain. But you can also throw sand by collecting sand from these areas, from sand pits, or collecting clay from clay pits. You can bring it on the arable lands, right, on the crop fields, you can bring those resources into these fields and actually spread it around and change the mixture of the soil. And that's a really cool mechanic. Now, I definitely want to place down a crop field for the amount of food that we could be producing here. Now that we've also built down this root cellar, I think this is a great idea. How much are we producing as far as food goes? So we're producing around 250 plus another 200 at the most here. Like, no, it's in total about 500 food we're producing. So if we get a field that produces at least 500, right, or something around this area, that would be really good. Let's do a field like this. I think I'm happy with it. We can produce at least 468 and up to 1326. So on our best of days, we're gonna get a lot out of this field. But it also takes a lot of work to build it. Let's drag a row like so, and I'll do another road over here like so. So now villagers will come, the laborers will cut down the trees, and then they will start working the field, clearing out stones and some other stuff from it. So far so good. Let's see. You are in reach of that blueberry bush. There's more berries here. So let's take you and collect those as well. Workers are unable to work. Manufacturing storage is full. Okay. That is fine. Okay, we stored some of the food now and we've stabilized. Let's put down... Actually, no. Instead of exploring, let's collect... We're already collecting these berries. Let's go and salvage this site. I'm not sure exactly what we will get from it. It's a bit unfortunate that it doesn't tell us what we have here. Let's see. Okay, we're moving up production. That's good. Overall, I think we're doing fine. We've finished flattening the land and... Well, it doesn't look too bad. I don't think we can place a market just yet. I think we might have to do that again. Yeah. Slope is too steep. So we have to go again through the process of flattening this land. I'm thinking of doing maybe a bit more as well in this situation, just to raise some of this ground, because if not, this is going to get raised even higher, and this is going to be like this super slope which we will not be able to touch. Hey, we picked up mountainous map, so it was bound to happen. Things like this, it told us right from the start that we might have a bit of a problem trying to find good land to build upon. We've also unlocked a tannery, which produces clothes. We can have a cobbler shop, which produces shoes. A Fletcher building, which produces arrows and bows. This we definitely need. We'll definitely need to produce arrows for our hunters and for our guard towers. A basket shop, which requires... What is that? Let's see. Is this willow? Okay. So what produces willow? Does it say anywhere? 2 new villagers have immigrated. We have a new villager being born. We have 36 spaces in total for our houses, while we have only 23 people within them. Yeah, look at the work it takes to prepare this field. 3,000. Oof, that's gonna take a while. I think the market might be placeable now. No, still not. Well, we can place it somewhere in there, but I want to be placing it here. So let's keep working on it. I do want it there. And I'm thinking maybe placing a few more houses on this side as well. What else do we have? Fletchers, okay. Basket shops, good. And basket shops help us gather more efficiently, because our villages will be able to carry more. And a compost yard, which gathers waste from humans and animals, and then we'll be using it on our fields to increase fertility. Cool. Okay, we're making good progress on our fields. I'm not sure we'll be able to plant anything this year. I think it's mostly in preparation for next year. But we have already 9 months worth of food. And if they store it in the storehouse instead of leaving it in the shacks, I think we're going to be good. Come on, give me a good shape here. Yeah. Now it looks slightly more weird, but a bit more flat. Let's see. Markets. Perfect. We can place it down. I left some space here because I will want to place down a few gardens in the future. I am thinking the more spaces we leave in order to place down some houses, to place down some gardens, the easier it will be for us to make them grow. In this situation, like, we could place 3 more houses here. We risk not being able to increase desirability for them. But maybe for the sake of it? Or maybe we'll place down some shops here. I don't know, were there shops? I think there were some sort of shops, right? Healer House, for example. A school right in the middle of the people. Cool. We have our markets. At this point, they will gather food and distribute it to the people. I'll throw in another market seller, because reducing the time people need to go around and collect food from the root sellers, I think, as time that is better used in going around and gathering resources. I can cut a few more trees over here, and I'm okay with that. If I look at the storehouse, do we still have arrows? We have 70 arrows. So we're still good on that side. We have 9 gold now. I believe the first thing that I would like to put down is one of these towers. One of these, which we would need 50 gold for. And we would be spending more gold per turn. Let's see. 8 people want to immigrate, yes. The more people we have, the better it will be for us in the long run. I mean, especially now early on. Later on, we might have to be a bit more careful, but for right now, let's place 3 more houses over here. Okay. Okay. The market's desirability ring won't hit all of the houses. Basic well, they want a town center at level 2 and they want higher desirability. Okay. When I'm looking at the defense tower, look how tower defends the surrounding area against hostile threats. Must be manned by guards who do extra damage when attacking from high value vantage points. I see. So depending on where we put the tower, we get those plus numbers to the target, depending on elevation. So if they're higher while the enemies are lower, they get, for example, in this situation, we would get plus 10 on the right side. That's pretty good. Like, we have some good numbers. I guess there's an advantage to having one of these mountainous villages. I am thinking that maybe I'll place a tower. I'm thinking somewhere here. They would attack storehouses, right? First and foremost, they would attack storehouses in our town center. So maybe having it over here might be a good idea, right? To have a place where they would run to. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, and then we can expand like this. I am looking at this direction because we know that somewhere in this area there is a raiders camp. And if I was to guess, I would say that that's where they will be arriving from. But we need to wait a few more months to get the gold. Decorations. All of these decorations cost gold and some other resources. Let's see, 60 wooden planks in order to build this. I guess I'm going to throw in another one of these sawyers so that we can increase our production. And what next? How many laborers do we have? We have 15. That's a few too many. We do have pelts, if I'm not mistaken. 10. But we need to be producing more. That's on a resource. We can get water and pelts and produce clothes. Or we could get pelts to produce shoes. Crops ready for assignment. Okay, click to remove, click to expand the size of the field, click any of the 3 crop rotations bar to add or remove crops to plant, okay. Each bar represents 1 year, so we're doing crop rotations. Environment fertility factor impacts how effective compost and crops such as peas and clovers are for improving the crop field's fertility, I see. Here you can adjust the clay sand mixture in the soil for optimal yields. Okay. Now this, if I remember correctly, is going to take us a while to figure out. We are at the end of this first year, so we're going to go into the second year. And what are we going to plant? Fertility is at 35%, weed level is at 85%, and rockiness is at 59%. Which means that we probably should be setting farmers to perform field maintenance instead of growing crops, provide us chance to reduce weed levels and remove rocks from fields. Given that we are doing decent for food, we're definitely going through the winter. I think doing a year of maintenance might be the best way forward. Now, clovers can be grown to replenish soil fertility in a field. However, I think they might represent a bit of trouble for us. Actually, maybe like if we can put down clovers, that would increase our fertility. That leaves us in year 3. We will start by doing some maintenance. And during this summer, autumn, we could throw in something which would give us food and have enough heat tolerance. Let's see. Cabbage is a sort of vegetable greens which only have moderate storage life. It is fairly frost tolerant but requires fertile soils. Food yields are good. It doesn't take a whole lot to grow. We could go with leeks, I guess. It doesn't have a whole lot of drought tolerance. Beans seem to be very good. Buckwheat yields grain which must be milled into flour. I am thinking of we need to go with vegetables. Wheat we would need to turn into flour, and I don't think we're there yet. So maybe something with a lot of heat tolerance, and I don't think anything else fits in there at the moment with the work that we're doing. No. Good. And over on this side, we'll start with some work. I think I'm going to go next with maybe some cabbage. Does anything else fit in the space left? Not really. Okay, I think we'll leave it at this for now. We'll do a lot of maintenance, and once we're getting the weed levels and the rockiness down to, as low as we can, I think we can remove some of that maintenance. Max workers 8, assigned workers is needed at least 4. Let's go 8. That means that at this point we have how many free laborers? 11. Larger work area. I'm hoping that this is not just the range of the market, but that this house can also reach it. I am not sure, I'm just hoping. Okay, let's move the cart over here. We don't need more houses for the moment. I am thinking of either producing clothes or shoes, as we do have the resource for... We need the coats, I think, first, and then the shoes. Tannery cures animal hides acquired from hunting or slaughtering cattle and turns them into coats that help villagers work outside and survive longer in the cold weather. Coats also provide some levels of protection from animal attacks. That's good. But yeah, the smell from leather workers, generally speaking, are not great, so people don't like having them around. I am going to set this up. We will need water as well from those wells, but I think the best thing that I can do is probably place it here so that we don't lose desirability for these buildings. I could also try to connect it somewhere here, but it would be closer to a storage but further away from water, so I don't like that idea. Let's do it here. The cobbler shop, however, should be fine. I'm thinking that maybe we can place some of these buildings inside the village. Place the cobbler there, for example. Let's increase the amount of workers in the saw pit by 1. As we do need a lot of planks going forward. And what else? A Fletcher could be useful. Oh, I hear wolves. I don't know if that means that we're getting attacked by wolves, or it's just background noise. Basket shop, not yet. Let's get a Fletcher. And I'll be placing it over here. Compost yard. Not yet, because it does have an upkeep. And we're getting closer to having the gold for a tower. Yeah, look at the amount of weeds in the field. Okay, we're out of food once again, but I think it's mostly stored here, right? Yes. We just need them to go and store their goods. What a beautiful winter. We have plenty of food here in the markets. We have a lot of firewood as well. We have herbs, which will help keep our villagers slightly more healthy. Iron ore. Missing resources pelts. Okay. We do have these deer here. He's doing enough. There's more deer there. Salvaging progress is at 0%, and I'm not sure exactly why. I'm thinking of exploring the area. Maybe not now. But I think if we could get a few more hunters, that would be good, right? Yeah, look at this. We're full on food. We're doing fairly well here. It's just some of these pelts. It doesn't seem like production is that high. We have our cobbler, which took most of the pelts. I do love these little shops. Whoever has done the graphics for this game has done a very good job, I think. Let's see, some more food has spoiled in the market. It was unfortunate. Let's go. Autumn is almost over. Or winter is almost over. We're moving now to working our fields very hard. And make sure that we're cleaning stuff up. Good. We have enough in order to place down a defense tower. And that's what we're going to do. I think this is where I want to do it. I don't want to move too far away from the town center and our storage yards. And I'll go like this. I'm hoping that it is the right way to go. As far as what are we producing, let's put a limit on both bows and arrows. I don't want us to produce an unlimited amount of those goods. The resources, we're gonna say, I want you to have a maximum of 200. "200 arrows is more than enough. And as far as bows go, let's say 4. As far as shoes go, yeah, maybe I don't know for shoes and clothes and stuff. We'll leave the production to be infinitely, and we shall see later on. If we have too many shoes and there's nothing that we can do for them or with them, then we'll decide what to do next. We've used all of the trees which we assigned cutting. Let's start cutting some of these. And I'll be moving the cart on this side. New villagers immigrated. Oh, it's only one there. Okay, almost done with the tower. And what will I be doing next? Maybe put down a shrine would be a good idea to fulfill some of their needs and increase desirability in the area. Having another field wouldn't necessarily be bad already, you know, prepare for the future. maybe even increase fertility with a compost. It just requires upkeep, which would reduce our cash by a lot. Fertility is going down at the moment. Weed levels are going down, meaning it's going higher actually. So up arrow is actually good. It's reducing rockiness while we're working, while doing feed maintenance. And let's see, if I go with another field. I want to build it here. I mean, I could. Probably here it would be better. Another 10 by 8. I think I like that idea. Because by the time we're getting yields in what, another 2 years, I guess next year we're already farming, but a lot of the work that we will be doing, by the time this is done, our village will be larger, which will require another field from us. So why not throw a few workers right now and actually prepare for the future? We get another big camp of immigrants, you know, another 8. I think that is going to be perfect. Let's see. The deer population is fine. And we can now upgrade our town center to the next level. We have enough population, we have enough shelters, we have enough we have the market, and we can take it to the next level. And I believe that that is the best way to go forward right now. Let's hit it. And what else am I going to do? Well, I'm going to make this compost pit, and I think what I want to do is build it somewhere closer to the farms, right? We're not going to go close to that, but the farmers will need it, and they need it to be close by. Just like that. Let's see, where do we store compost? In one of these? No, this is just for basic resources. You definitely don't store compost. So I'm guessing none of these store compost, and what I need to do is actually have one of those buildings around. The building storage is full. The firewood's... Okay, totally fine. We've reached the limit of firewood. We don't need to go any further than that. Select build site. Oh, okay. And there we have it. Our town center has reached the next level. And with this, I think we've also hit the end of the episode. I think we took a really good next step forward. I will need another hunter in order to supply these businesses with leather. And some extra meat wouldn't be bad for us. We have a tower now protecting us as well. I could probably throw 2 people in just to make sure that we are safe from any possible invader. And yeah, our village now has a market. Our village has taken its first step into being an organized community. And from here on out, it is time to push forward, even upgrade some of these houses to the next level, which should be interesting to see. If you enjoyed this episode, do consider leaving a like, as it does help me, helps the channel grow, and you can also support me on Patreon. Until next time, I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day.